live? What's up, guys? I am trying to go live on a regular basis and answer as many questions as possible to help the music community, because as we see in the news and things of that nature, there's a lot of foolishness going on. You got AI starting to flood the market. You have streaming paying lower than ever before, and honestly, I continue to say it, and I will say it until it is not true, but sync licensing is probably the smartest way to actually earn a living from making sonic art. So that being said, until that changes, I will be going live as a pregame before I go live with our private community and listen to music to make sure that everybody is good to go when it comes to this kind of stuff. So if and when you guys have questions, I will try to make sure that I'm here every Monday around this time for about 30 minutes to make sure everyone has what they need to go. But in the meantime, while there isn't anyone here yet, I decided I'm going to go ahead and... Can you guys actually see that? You can't see that. Okay. I'm going to actually end up probably making some music in the meantime. So if you got questions, let me know. If not, totally cool too. Something before I get started with this that I wanted to mention is that this month we gave... Everyone always complains about, like, I don't have any briefs. Where are the briefs at, like, for sync opportunities? And so me and the homie Clint Music for Shades of Sync this year actually released a public brief with like 5 different genres: hip-hop, R&B, pop music, I'm a piano, what else was on there? Afrobeat. There was a ton of different genres for the theme song for this year's promo with Shades of Sync for the next like month or two. And like it was for $1,000, and it was dope because we had like 20,000 people actually share and see the actual brief and opportunity, and all you had to do was own your own music, and that was pretty much it. And what was crazy was that out of that 20,000 number, only 400 actually asked for the brief email. And from there, only like 20 people actually signed up. That's like a 0.01% of the people that actually went ahead and took a swing at the plate, so to speak, which to me is absolutely insane because of the sheer fact that, like, unfortunately, everyone feels like the market is crowded for sync licensing, and it's really not based off of these findings, right? Like, everybody's like, oh yeah, like sync's a thing and you can make money from it. But the discouraging thing is sometimes is that like some people, what's up, Keyshawn? Some people actually just don't get that you actually have to submit in order for you to have a shot. And so people get super discouraged and stuff like that. And what happens normally? They quit, and that's it, unfortunately. So that's one of the reasons why we have our private community, is to kind of keep you going. And then if you see other people doing the same stuff, it's a lot harder to quit. Honestly is. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is it too late? It is too late. The brief deadline was on the 10th, I believe. We're going live on Thursday, I believe, to go through all the submissions. We're going to actually review them live. And then after that, we're actually also going to, if we don't find the music that we're looking for, we're probably going to open up the brief again for another week or two. So fingers crossed we don't find the right music, maybe, just to give more people a chance. But yeah, it's pretty wild how that stuff works, because people always be complaining enough opportunities and stuff, right? And then when we actually give you guys it was funny. I took a picture of it. I was texting Clint, and he was like, bro, this is a sync layup. It really is. $1,000. That might cover most of the rent these days, right? And all you had to do was have some music that kind of fit what we were looking for. And unfortunately, people didn't understand the assignment. So, unfortunately, maybe that'll change if we can't find the right music. But like, I'm gonna give everybody that actually sent in something a shot first. especially everyone that actually showed that bought a ticket as well, because we kind of want you there so that you can receive the money. I wonder if we can do it in cash. If everything works out right, we might be able to get one of those stupid cheesy cardboard like checks that you can't take to a bank in cash, just for irony. But like if last year we had a duo, a producer and artist duo win, and unfortunately the producer was overseas, he couldn't make it to the show, but the artist could. So we were able to kind of present him. And what's cool about this is that when you're shown to have won a sync placement, you're taken way more seriously in the industry. And so all the supervisors and sync agents that are actually present at the conference, like, they're gonna be like, oh, well, like, he's actually legit. I wonder if he's got anything that I could actually use. So it's kind of, again, it's another oop for whoever wins, because I mean, placements lead to more placements, which is cool. So what brief are we talking about? It's for the Shades of Sync brief. So every year, and this is the most meta thing. I've never seen it done at any other sync conference yet. If they do, they got to be copying. We basically give a brief for all the ticket holders, and this year we opened it up to everybody, just because I didn't want it to feel like it was kind of pay to play. But essentially all we did was we sent out a brief, and we emailed everyone and was like, yo, we need music with hip hop. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up real quick and share it with you guys. Because like I was saying, it was pretty wild that nobody actually, we barely had anybody reach out for it. There it is. It was for, we're looking for the, I'll just read it verbatim. It said we were looking for the official Shades of Sync 25 theme music. We need tracks that carry the energy of collaboration, unity, big moments, and that stuff that move a crowd, right? And then the genres we asked for were hip hop, R&B, Afrobeat, pop music, or dance music, or anything that just feels fresh and sync ready. Anyone can submit. Ticket holders will have stronger consideration. And then that was pretty much it. We gave some references and stuff like that. And again, like 20,000 people were like, oh, this is kind of dope. But again, like barely 20 ended up sending stuff in. And then of that 20, I want to say 80% of those people actually, what was I going to say? Actually sent it like 2 hours before the deadline was like finished, which was wild to me. So I want to try this experiment again for sure, like in the future, but it shows me two things. One, musicians are extremely lazy and wait till the last minute to do stuff. And two, like everyone, again, feels like stuff is clogged and saturated. The market's really not. If that's the way most people act, nah. Because you had, I think we started talking about the brief about a month before the deadline. And then we really tried to start pushing it like the last few days. And yeah, it was, you weren't in. Yeah, I did. So I did actually share the brief in the Alliance. I want to say a month or two before, just because I mean everybody in there gets access to stuff like that. And so yeah, they had a little extra time. But even people in the community like was sending this stuff last minute. I was like, dang, like that's kind of wild. So I'm gonna make some long form content on it because I just think it's very intriguing. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, if you guys got questions about anything, I'm here for another, what time is it? I'll be here for another 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Ask me any sync questions. We just crossed the threshold of $1 million from sync fees, which I think is really cool. And so I wanted to try to make a live series, not just talking about that, but just like things I've learned while trying to get past that threshold. And also like if there's anything that I can do to help, whether that be on the DAW, which hopefully you guys can hear. Keyshawn, I actually tried to, let me switch over actually. I actually tried to learn how to make cool synths. I was trying to channel my inner key. And, I don't know. I probably epically failed because I was trying to make something with a different reference, but, really started to try to learn how to, sound design from scratch instead of always using presets, because presets are always easier because of the speed, right? He said also guilty of last minutes. Yeah, I mean, like, but here's the thing. And I think most people don't realize this until they actually are in a position of like choosing music. Most people, after they find the one they're looking for, like even with samples, perfect example. So like if I was looking for a specific sample on here for a snare, right? I'm not going to go through my whole thing of snares to find one, right? So like if I have, let me see, I'll pull this up. If I find the right one, I'm not going to go through all of these. Okay, this is the one I want. I'm not going to listen to snare 22 through 40. Like I found the one I wanted. So it's actually advantageous if you send your stuff in early so that when they're going through the list, yours comes up and they're like, yep, that's it. We don't even need to look no more. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes perfect sense to me. But because of that, you want to try to send it once you get a brief. If you got time, go ahead and knock it out as quickly as possible because speed is going to help you win, for sure. Other questions. Trailer music, is there demand for that in sync? Of course it is. Are you kidding me? Everyone loves a trailer. The Grogu Mandalorian trailer just dropped. I want to say about, was it today? I think it was today, like the public one. There's trailers. There's hundreds of trailers that drop every year. On top of that, you have the marketing on the theatrical side, the commercial side. Social media has their own music for trailers sometimes. You have trailers for TV series. There's tons of room for trailers for sure. And they all pay differently, but normally pretty darn good. We just landed a Hulu trailer for, what's that TV show? Reasonable Doubt. And it was cool because it was a buyout deal of a cover that I did, which was like super cool. I don't think, because it's a buyout, I don't think I can share it on YouTube or I'll get a content ID strike. But like, yeah, it's plenty. The market's wide open, bro. You just have to be really good. Because although the market feels wide open, like there's some killers out here. Because to me, trailer production is like the epitome of like production music, in my opinion. Because there's so many layers. You got to know how to mix them all. And it's got to be interesting because most trailer music sounds the same. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's very, very challenging to like really make sure you're getting across the goal line, so to speak. What other questions? What synth did I use? I normally use, I'll show you. So I normally use Serum for most of my sound design just because it's like what I started with, I guess. I also like to use, what's it called? Here, I'll just show you. In Contact from Keep Forest. Shout out to Keep Forest. In our private community, we have a discount code for their synths. Those are cool. Is this going to load? I'm probably doing too much on my computer. But yeah, those are normally my main synths that I use. Is Contact going to open? Come on, son. Can you guys see this? Yes, you can. Perfect. Hold up, you said, didn't think of that. Yep. Do trailers pay decent? Game trailers? Oh, heck yeah, bro. Game trailers probably pay more than theatrical ones. Believe it or not, because they normally have way more money. Think about it. After they're finished with a project, guess what? They can still drain everyone for money through microtransactions, right? Like, it is actually unfair how much money they make. Fortnite's still going hard on trailer stuff or DLC packages. This is the other synth that I like to use, and it's not even, I guess you can call it a synth. It's kind of like a sampler. Devastator from Keep Forest. Their stuff sounds wicked, for lack of a better term. Yeah, there's one here, classic leads. I'm doing like a Fortnite, I wouldn't call it Fortnite, was it Valorant, League of Legends deal right now. And teaming up with some dope artists to kind of make that happen. Yeah, let me see. Who else got questions? This is cool. Hopefully you guys vibe with this platform or narrative. I like going live just because, like, there's less scripting and, like, we can just get to the nitty-gritty as far as with, like, who actually needs help in doing that really quickly. Use Serum for literally everything? Really? Yeah. can't use the playables. Oh, bro, they give you the samples. Like I only use the playables when I actually want to get a synth melody out. But for the most part, bro, let me see if I can pull up. Their one shots are like gold. The Brams, let me see if I can find a Bram from their library, because they give you Breakout. Yeah, this is from Keyforce. They actually give you these things, so you can just drag and drop them into the DAW. And like manipulating audio is always going to be better for me. And you can just change the key to whatever you need it to be, which is awesome. So like, yeah, I would highly recommend, if you don't already, to go ahead and I got them all on. I have literally all of them on speed dial, so to speak. Yep, the one shots are that's all you really need, because like you got to time them, and like MIDI for that kind of stuff is annoying. I don't know why, it just is, and you're gonna probably bounce it down anyway. So like you might as well skip the step. But yeah, that's all I'm using. I like beat surfing too, just because I like weird sounds, and because I like weird sounds that no one else has, I use this for getting specific ideas. There's like 3 presets that I always use. I'm trying to learn how to use it for basses, because that's what I've seen a lot of their demos use. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to be like you, bro. That's all I'm trying to do. Like, let me see if I can. I think the bass stuff was what I was trying to do last week, or this past weekend. Let me see if I can find. You guys hear this? There it is. It's gonna be dope. Especially after I get like the vocalist on it, for sure. Yep, random's dope. That's what's nice about the community, man. You be hearing people, you be like, oh snap, like, I need to step my game up big time. I didn't even see these. I'm actually using some one shots from Keyforce right here. Like, their stuff is just like, it's goated. It really is. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, making your own sound design is great, but I ain't got the time. I just don't have the time. I really don't. So, yeah, that's what we do out here. I got 10 minutes. You guys have any other questions? I'm an open book, low key. Let me know. Let me see. Can I play the hook? It's not. This isn't mixed yet, so don't judge. The other thing from Keyforce that I really like is their guitar, their Apex guitar. Absolutely insane. Probably need to add some more delay on this one. Absolutely crazy work. We had another melody earlier, and I was like, this is too busy. That was something I had trouble with this track, just because you want to try to make sure that your melodies are simple enough for average people that don't sing can sing. So like that was something that was kind of hard to do. I'm lying. It was very hard to do. And then on top of that, like I had already put in the extra, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me squeeze this over so you can. I was trying to get the expressions right, as far as the what is it called, articulations. So you got to add the extra MIDI on the bottom and stuff. It was crazy trying to figure out the right combination to do on top of all the other crazy stuff that was going on with the pads. Pads is probably the hardest thing about this, because like the reference I was using, I was like, where they're there but they're not. It was super confusing. I'm still trying to figure that out. It's gonna be a mixing thing for sure, because the references I was using, it was just like they're so pushed to the sides that like you have to squint your ears to actually hear like what was actually going on. It's crazy. Artificial intelligence. What's my thoughts? I think that artificial intelligence is just going to make the stuff that we do more valuable if you actually know what you're doing. Like for instance, when it comes to every music supervisor and sync agent that I've talked to recently, they don't want AI music at all. I assume that that's going to be the case for at least the next 3 to 5 years, depending on how crazy it gets. But like honestly, who owns it? So like me being the petty person I am, I would. No one asked you, honey. Hilarious. The petty person I am, and I'm completely willing to admit it. I would just take all of their music and re-upload it as mine. Like, what are you gonna do? You don't own it. Suno probably owns it, right? Like, what are we really talking about here? I think that AI is helpful when it's not in the generative sense, of course. Like, for instance, people have been using AI for plugins for at least the last like 5 years. Ozone taught me how to master. I don't use Ozone anymore just because like I don't like the color sometimes that it adds to certain things. But like, AI has been helpful in mixing and mastering for sure. As long as you know as long as you're learning what it's doing, so you can kind of get away from it. I just hate that the cognitive load of what we're doing as musicians is trying to be taken away from us, because sometimes the pain and suffering it takes to kind of figure out how to actually make something, you know what I'm saying? Like that gets taken away because you just click the button. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know what you're doing. So I think it's going to separate the pros from the amateurs even more so. I feel the same way about like if you really look into the industry of music, just the music industry in general, the guys that are really good actually understand music theory. They actually like spent time to figure out what works, why it works, things of that nature. So it's going to take more effort to use that same cognitive load to make sure that you're capable of controlling things outside of having to type it into a prompt and hope that the computer gets it right. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to type in make this more happy sounding. I know exactly if I add a sharp 11 or a major third, it's going to sound the way I want it to sound. You know what I'm saying? You have more control. So like that is something that we're going to be talking about during the Shades of Sync conference this year. We got a whole panel on it. We're gonna Samara, the latte lawyer, is going to be up there to help us navigate when it comes to sync. And on top of that, I think Clint and I are going to just talk about other ways that we can actually use AI to our advantage as minorities. So like, if you guys don't have your tickets already, just saying, go cop them. Other stuff. Oh, we got some people from the UK. Okay, dope. Is there anywhere to listen to potential sync competition or to help the level that you're aiming for? I personally use our private community. There's a lot of dope people in there, including Keyshawn, who's on the call with us, or not call, on live with us today on the chat. Listen to other people that are serious about sync. Levels you up by nature just because you're around people that don't play. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying earlier, like 0.01% of people took the brief that we sent out. We're giving away a free $1,000. All you have to do is own your music and have 2 people on it. Like the fact that was the case, like we have to find our own tribe. And so that's what we have the community for, as far as like a space for us to kind of grow and learn. And it's really helpful for when like you have questions that maybe no one in the community can answer, but we have a sync agent or a music supervisor in the room to kind of help with. So like there's a lot of cool stuff that you can kind of do so that it makes your sync journey a lot easier to kind of run through. How to make triads. I mean, triads are everything. Don't sleep on triads, bro. Triads are the building blocks of everything. Everything else is an extension, but the triad is what actually shapes the tonality of your chords. So like that is That is actually quite amazing. That's all you're doing is triads. I'll show you something real quick. And I'm sure you're familiar with like inversions. Suggestion about Apex and velocity mode. I like velocity mode, but like it doesn't I find that I get more control because if I need to take that same phrase and put it somewhere else, it's just it's faster for me to kind of switch back and forth. With velocity, I have to hear the same tone over and over again until I can get it to the right one, and that can sometimes be annoying. Trip, what up? But what I was going to show real quick, because I love sharing. Sharing is as long as it's not food. Something that I absolutely love to do when it comes to chords is make sure that the common tones. Let me move my face out the way. Can we shrink my face? Can you guys tell I've never streamed before in my life? Okay, here we go. If you look at the at these chords, they're obviously, let's see, we got an E, we got a B, and okay, so this is an E major chord. The song's in E major. This is a triad, but like you see how it's spread out. Then normally you would have E, G sharp, and B right here. That would be your triad. But I took the third and put it on top, and it makes it sound way wider. What is this? This is a 3-note chord or a 4-note chord? Yeah. So we got E, D, which is the 7th, which gives it like a bluesy dominant feel. Oh, it's a minor 7 chord. So you got G here and then B. So, and then you play the minor one here. And then what is this? A flat 6. What was that? F major? Yep. So like when you understand this stuff, it makes it super easy to make cool sounding stuff. Because when you hear stuff like, for instance, I stole these chords. I stole them from this song. My reference here. I am a thief. I took those chords and threw them in the background for the bridge. You see what I'm saying? So like if you understand, okay, like I see what kind of chords you're using, you could just take them, put them here, and now you got, that's half the battle right there. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna get demonetized, guys. I can't wait. You never actually use chords? Really? That's really interesting because I was having that same problem. I could hear the chords, but my brain might have been like filling in the missing notes. I'm gonna have to pick your brain, Keyshawn, on your synth design because like I definitely think there's something to it. That is interesting. Yep, inversions are everything. But like also, what am I using on the strings? I'm using, what is this called? Crow, the Crow Academy, I think it's called. Let me see if I pull this up. It's gonna swap instruments, right? Doesn't look like it wants to. It'll pull up after Ableton stops being weird. But lo-fi strings, goated for sure for like old timey sounds and stuff without having to pull out a bunch of RC20 crap. But then I also have it going through a halftime. Oh, you guys can't see it. Sorry. It's going through a halftime plugin. I think at the beginning it's enabled. Yeah. Super soft. But I use halftime to make it go backwards, which is absolutely hilarious. What other questions you guys got? It's called Crow. Which one? Vaults. What's the name of the actual company though? Put in it. Crow Hill Company. Thank you. I was like, chat, save me. Good Artist Steal. If you haven't read that book, you should. This is the appropriate way to do it. Because obviously AI is stealing on a whole nother level. Like, because it doesn't understand what is copyrightable and what is not. And so like, yeah, I'll take the chords. I'm gonna put my own melody on it and my own drums. So like, it'll never sound the same. And then when you put an artist on top of it as well, like that's a completely different thing. But anyways, I digress. Do you guys have any other questions? This was actually really fun. Give me a heart or a fire emoji if you feel like this was helpful. And I'll try to do this on more of a regular basis. By all means, like I was mentioning before, I'll share everything. Like like I was saying, I don't care. Most people are not going to do what I'm suggested to do anyway. For lack of a better, do you use any other DAWs? Nope. I just use Ableton just because like it's helpful. Oh, anyone else that uses Ableton, did you see this thing here? Splice is literally inside the DAW now. Absolutely crazy. Oh shoot, I'm late. Okay, I have to go. Okay, so I gotta jump on with the private community and listen to some music. If you guys have any other questions, we'll do this again next week. All right, peace.